Today, we're diving into the top 10 most common mistakes that men make that turn women off. And we're gonna look at two different examples. One guy on his first date and one who's in a relationship, so that you can learn from each of these mistakes instead of making your own. Hi, I'm Caitlin B, sex and relationship coach, and I have been working with men to improve their sex and relationships for the last several years. My focus today is actually on helping you prevent some of the most common mistakes that I see men making. And some of these are actually quite a mind because they actually are things that men are told make them more attractive and actually tend to make them less. So be on the lookout for any of these mistakes. And if you find yourself making these mistakes, not a big deal, easy to course correct. And if you need some additional help, you can apply to work with me and my team of coaches below. All right, on to our first gentleman tonight. His name is Andre. He is a young bachelor. I'm gonna walk you through his evening, show you the couple mistakes that he's made, and compliment him for doing a couple things right. All right, bachelor number one, Andre, right off the bat, about to make his first mistake, and that is showing off. Here we see him posing with his shirt off in front of the bathroom mirror. His other pictures show off fancy cars, hot tubs, expensive watches. When a girl sees this, what does she think? Now, you might see other guys doing this on Tinder or Bumble or the swipe app of your choice. But for the most part, when a woman sees this, all she thinks about is this guy is shallow. He cares more about status symbols. He's obsessed with his own abs. And he's trying to attract a woman who only cares about those things and doesn't have any depth. Women are far more interested to know what you actually like doing. Like you like working on cars, you have a comic book collection. It is far better to show that you are a full human being with preferences and more to say about yourself than, your six-pack in the mirror. That is gonna attract a woman who actually wants to go out with you for you and not for your car. Let's say Andre has made a match, huzzah! And now let's zoom into his private messages to see what mistakes could be lurking inside of this inbox. Because guess what? When you are messaging back and forth with a woman, and even if you're in a relationship and you're texting back and forth with your partner or your wife, you are setting the vibe for what is about to happen, what's going on that night. Or if you have not met her, you only have the messages really to determine whether or not she's gonna meet up with you at all. Which brings us to mistake 2 out of 10, coming in too hot. Here we see Andre saying, "I would love nothing more than to stuff my inside of your." Andre hasn't even met this woman yet and he's already sexting. This is gonna make her feel A, a little freaked out, and B, like she cannot trust him, and C, like he's probably only into her for the wrong reasons. But there is one thing that Andre does that makes this redeemable, and that is that he asks her questions. He shows that he is interested in who she is, interested in her life, which brings us to mistake number 3. Guys, if you get in the DMs and all you can talk about is yourself, you don't ask questions, you don't show interest, you don't ask a follow-up question. Ask more than one question in a row. Why did she choose that career? What kind of values does she bring into the workplace? Like, you can ask the basic ass question, what do you do for a living, as long as you then follow it up with some interesting, specific, more nuanced questions that let her know you're actually listening to her and care about who she is and don't see her as just a piece of meat or a means to an end. Women are real people. I think it's time that we all acknowledge that, and they've got stuff that they want to share and say. They've got values, interests, hobbies. Ask about her. Our guy Andre, though, on the other hand, is doing a great job. He is attentive, he is listening, he makes her feel seen and heard inside of the DMs. Attraction, whoop, back up. So our lady decides that she wants to meet Andre, date scored, boom. She wants him to choose the place. And obviously he wants to make the best first impression. But at this moment, Andre panics. I mean, he's kind of a flip-flops and taco truck kind of guy, but he's looking at her pictures, making some quick assessments about her, and decides that he wants to take her to the fanciest restaurant that he can find, which leads us to mistake number 4, not being authentic to yourself. So there they are at a restaurant that he feels uncomfortable at, like he does not belong, wearing his formal loafers and shit. And there she is, sitting across from him, noticing how stiff he looks. She also wishing that he had chosen something a little more chill. Everything I know about you, I've learned over a direct message, and now here we are with a white tablecloth in front of us. And she can tell, and this is the worst part of all, that he is not living his truth in the moment. He looks out of place. He looks like he doesn't belong. And therefore, he looks like he is faking something in order to go on this date with her. A more memorable and comfortable night for both of them would have been like going to an arcade, laughing and flirting, being themselves. I mean, going on a walk to a taco truck, this like secret little fish taco truck that's tucked in under the bridge over there, that would have been a cuter date than taking her to the $4 signs restaurant that he found on Yelp when he searched date night. He's trying to be something he's not, and that's unattractive. If you've learned nothing else from my channel, please learn that, guys, you do not have to be this version of a guy that you think women want you to be. We just want you to be you. It's the best version of you. That's what we're here to do. All right, let's back out of Andre's date. We wish you the best, man. Hope you scored tonight. We're gonna move over to the table right next to them where we find our next bachelor, David. Now, David has been dating his girlfriend for about a year, and he's decided to take her out to this same sappy date night restaurant, and we are going to find our next 5 mistakes that David is about to make. All right, here's David's first mistake, which is not being present. David's girlfriend feels like she is speaking to a brick wall. He's not making eye contact. His only responses are, Not being present actually literally hurts the feminine. And you know what? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you're not being present with her at dinner, what are the chances that you're gonna be present with her in bed? So if you're not able to be present with her, practice tuning in to what she has to say. And if what she has to say is consistently not interesting to you, maybe it's time to change the conversation yourself, because any human being sitting in front of you, I don't care if you've known them for 30 years or 50 years or whatever, like there's still so much more to discover. He's not present, but David has a chance to redeem himself. It is her birthday and he has bought her a birthday gift. And yet he is about to make his second mistake, which is not really taking the time to understand and listen to his woman. When she opens a present, she realizes that not only has David not been listening to her at all tonight, he also hasn't been paying attention all year. You see, she opens her present and it is an expensive but heinously ugly piece of jewelry. Maybe he'll make it up for her next year, or maybe she will just dump his ass because he is about to make mistake number 7, and that is talking about your exes. David launches into a story about his ex and how much she loved this particular jewelry designer and how much of a freak she was in bed after he got her birthday gift, and it is making her feel self-conscious. David should avoid discussing his exes all together. Next, David will make his 4th mistake. So he finally stops telling the story about his ex, and then she, the woman he's been dating for a year, asks him, hey, where do you see our relationship going? And he responds in a classic mistake that I see all men make by being ambiguous. He says something along the lines of like, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that, maybe we stay together and we keep doing this, you know, or maybe we don't. He's ambiguous with his feelings. Now, she doesn't know if he's playing games with her, if he's just followed some shitty advice from a YouTuber telling him not to tell her the truth and play it cagey because you don't want to give women too much power. What he should say is something along the lines of, this is how I feel about you, this is where I see us going in the future. And if that answer is, actually, I don't really see this going anywhere, being honest, even if it's gonna hurt the person in front of you in this moment, is gonna prevent both of you from being hurt a lot in the future. It is cruel and unfortunately common for men to not be direct about their feelings because it is vulnerable. Which actually just brings me to mistake number 9, which is not being vulnerable at all. Now, a lot of guys assume that you can't be vulnerable with a woman because you have to play strong. Like, you can be vulnerable to other people, but with the partner that is in front of you, you cannot be actually vulnerable because you'll appear weak. You will appear soft. She will lose her attraction to you. And it sucks because I see men making this mistake all the time and they don't know that it actually is doing the opposite. Your woman actually cares so much more to know what you're feeling sensitive about, what's making you feel vulnerable, what you're hiding from us, because y'all think you're hiding shit and you're not. And boy, oh boy, do we go into a tailspin, we get triggered. We're like, what is he hiding from me? Maybe he was out buying me that ugly bracelet, or maybe he was seeing his ex-girlfriend. So not only are you not letting us in, but you're also actively hiding something because you think it makes you look weak. Please stop doing this. Name your feeling out loud to her so that she knows what's going on, and then move on. Back to David, because this girl really likes him and she still sees him as husband material, she's decided to bring him back to her place and have sex with him, which is where David makes his fifth and final mistake, which is not learning how to make love to her in the way that she likes. A lot of the guys that come to work with me are high performers and they're already crushing it in the sack. But then when we start working together, I hear it from them, and maybe I hear it from their partner. The sex actually isn't as fire as he thinks it is. She's telling him that it's fire, she's orgasming like it's fire, but inside she's actually craving more. She wants to try new stuff in bed. She wants to bring a woman into bed. She wants to have a threesome, but she's too afraid because he's so sure that the sex is good that she doesn't know how to actually bring up that it's not as good as he thinks it is. You may just be making this mistake, which is not actually learning what she needs to have a great sexual experience, because women need to be made love to differently every single time. Could be that the day before her period starts, she just wants to be to God and back. And it could be that the day that she's ovulating, she wants you to make sweet, sweet, gentle, caressing love to her. And then the day after that, she actually just wants like a massage and some oral sex. Most men learn a handful of tricks, maybe with their first or their second girlfriend, and then they just apply them over and over and over again. And if they look like they're working, you never actually do anything to get better. But do not fret. You do not have to make this mistake. I am here to coach you into greatness so that you can actually hit higher highs than you knew were possible in bed. So if that's you, please check out my High Performance Male Sexual Mastery Accelerator. I'm going to smooth out all of those rough edges, introduce you to sex stuff you didn't even know exists. There is new stuff for you to learn. There is so much more about sex than you could even imagine, and I would love to show that there is so much more to learn. You can get better. You can make your intimate life, your sex life, your romantic life on 10,000. So check it out if that's of interest to you and you want to optimize your shit. I'm here to help. If not, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you are liked and subscribed so that you don't make any of these mistakes or any other mistakes that could prevent you from being the best ever and having the best sex life. I'm Caitlin B. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.